Hi, I am Sir Seri. Welcome to DepEd TV. Good day, learners. In this episode, we will compare the rules in adding integers from Mobile Legends. Are you guys playing Mobile Legends? I guess most of you like to share their experiences in playing the game. Would you like to watch some of the scenes in Mobile Legends and observe the basic rules on how to play and win the game? Let's do this!
Defeat the enemy, I'm full of energy. I can lead a team to victory. Got the first blood, too legendary. Taking you all out, go RIP for another layer. Ay. Let me see you moving, never gon' stop. Ay. Epic fight queen, that's so hot. Ay. Let's celebrate, we got two shots. Come and battle, come and battle. Ay. Let's hit the next level. Ay. Come and battle, come and battle. Ay. I'm the real game, right rebel from Earth to space. We party, place to place, sunny from Earth to space. Mobile Legends, stop the race. Party on, game on, game on.
In the video, let me show you some screenshots. Our task is to identify who will win the battle. Is it red or green team? Let us have an agreement first regarding some changes in rules in our game. The reason for that is to make the game fresh and new to your minds. You probably have the knowledge of the different strategies in playing Mobile Legends. But, these are the rules to be followed. First, we will disregard the rank of players. Second, we will eliminate the idea of farming. And lastly, we will not include the level of each and everyone in the team. To be able to identify the winner in this game, you will use a fair judgment based on what you see, not on the rules that you know. This would be time pressure. I want you to observe the rule to know who will win. Are you ready? Let's get started. First scene. Red will win the battle. Second scene. No one will win the battle. Third scene. Red will win the battle. Fourth scene. Green will win the battle. Fifth scene. Green will win the battle. Sixth scene. Red will win the battle. Seventh scene. Green will win the battle. Eighth scene. Green will win the battle. Ninth scene. Red will win the battle. 10th scene. Red team will win the battle. 11th scene. Both have equal strength. 12th scene. Green will win the battle. On what we have done, we use a pair computation to know who will win the battle. Have you observed the rule? The rule is subtract the lesser power with the greater power. Again, subtract the lesser power with the greater power. If we compute it right, we will know who will win the game. That is exactly the rules in adding positive and negative signed numbers. Negative and positive numbers are called integers. Again, negative and positive numbers are called integers. Are there negative and positive numbers in Mobile Legends? Yes, red is positive while green is negative. I think you have already learned adding integers. Let us try to solve some problems. Again, this is the first scene. We can see in the first scene that the power of red is greater than the green, meaning positive is greater than negative. Who do you think will win? That is correct, the positive team. Why? the power of red will be matched with green. As the battle begins, little by little, the power of red will exclude, and green will be defeated. Since red had a great power over green, there's still left power for him to win. That is a per computation using a mathematical rule. Let us apply this rule in integers. For example, 9 and negative 8. As you can see, 9 is positive and 8 is negative. If we add, like in Mobile Legends, from the given 9 and negative 8, 8 which is negative will be removed in positive 9. As a result, negative number is gone, and positive 1, again positive 1, will be the final answer. From what we have done, let us form a rule. We call this rules in adding integers with positive and negative sign. To add integers with different signs, keep the sign of the number with the largest absolute value and subtract the smallest absolute value from the largest. Again, to add integers with different signs, keep the sign of the number with the largest absolute value and subtract the smallest absolute value from the largest. To further understand, let us have another example. We have positive 13 and negative 2. If we add, again, 2 will be removed from 13 since positive is greater than negative. What is left is 11 as final answer. Now, it's your turn. If we have positive 23 plus negative 7, what is the answer? Correct. The answer is positive 16. You just remove 7 which is negative to 23 which is positive since positive is greater than negative. Like in Mobile Legends, the player who had great power will win. The power of his opponent will be deducted from his power, and that is why, as a strategy in Mobile Legends, if you think you are weak compared to your opponent, run. Why not? Just to stay alive. Now, we will do arrangement on our 3 examples. What did you observe? The first and second term. They exchange position. First term becomes second term, while second term becomes first term. Let us repeat the same process for you to visualize. It returns to its original place now. But what can you say with their answers? It remains the same, right? This property describes commutative property of addition. Again, commutative property of addition. This means that changing the order of the numbers we are adding does not change their sum. What do you observe with the 7th scene? Who will win the game? Negative or positive? As we can see, negative is greater than positive. Let us try this. We have negative 18 and positive 9. Negative 18 is greater than positive 9. If we add, what would be the answer? You are correct. The answer is negative 9. Have you mastered the pattern? Next, we have negative 24 and 11. Which is greater? Correct. It is negative 24. If we add, we deduct positive 11 to negative 24. Therefore, the answer is negative 13. Going back to the rule, the lesser sign number will be deducted to a greater sign number, and what is left would be their sum. To master the rule, always remember the basic Mobile Legend rule. He who manifests great power will win the game. The only difference is mathematics has a fair computation. Next, let us have the next one. We have negative 17 plus 14. Since negative 17 is greater than 14, what would be left if we deduct the lesser sign number? Correct. We have negative 3. Observe this. If we change again their position, what happened? Yes, the answer will still be the same, following the commutative property of addition. As you can see, this is different from the first two scenes. Why? Because we have 3 characters here. The 2 belongs to the same team while the other was left alone. Have you experienced this situation when playing ML? Which team do you think will win? Obviously, the positive team will win, since if we add their power, it would be no match with the negative team. In integers in this case, we have 2 positive and 1 negative. Let us try to solve problems with this kind of situation. We have 2 positive and 1 negative. Here, we have positive 9, positive 2, and negative 18. In this situation, negative 18 is more powerful even adding the power of the 2 positive. In Mobile Legends, we call this as double kill. Maybe you think of situation like this in Mobile Legends, where 2 players is no match with 1 player. What would be the rules in adding more than 2 terms in integers? The rules: combine all positive and combine all negatives, and then add. In this case, for instance, 9 and 2 will be combined, resulting to 11. And then add negative 18 or add to negative 18. Since negative 18 is still greater than 11, again, the lesser sign number will be deducted to the greater sign number, and what is left is their sum. That is why the final answer is correct, negative 7. Now it's your turn. If we have 11 and 19, both are positive and their enemy is negative 24. What would be the answer? Try to think about the answer. Again, we have 11 and 19, both positive and their enemy is negative 24. The answer is... positive 6. How did we get that? We combine 11 and 19, resulting to positive 30. Then positive 30 versus negative 24. Since positive 30 is greater than negative 24, okay, the answer would be positive 6. Since positive 30 is greater than negative 24, the answer is positive 6. Very good. Now, let us have the next one. We have positive 14 and positive 14. First, let us combine them. We have 28. Now, their enemy is negative 17. What is the answer? Deduct 17 from 28. The answer is positive 11. Good job! Now, observe what will happen if we move the first term, second term, and last term in different position. Do you think the final answer will still be the same? What did you notice? All negatives are on the third term and again move to the first term. Still, the final answer remained the same. Meaning, even if numbers' position is interchanged, provided they will bring their sign, either negative or positive sign, the answer will still be the same. This describes the associative property of addition. This states that the sum of 3 or more numbers remain the same regardless of how the numbers are grouped. Remember, if it involves 2 terms in addition, we call this commutative property of addition. But if it involves 3 or more than terms, it is called associative property of addition. Let us have another situation. We have 1 positive and 2 negatives. This is different from the previous example. Are we going to use the same rule? Again, in ML, we have 2 green versus 1 red. We have negative 1 plus negative 9 plus 2. If we combine the 2 negatives, negative 1 and negative 9, we have negative 10. Then, add negative 10 plus 2. Okay, negative 10 plus 2. Since negative is greater than positive, therefore 2 will be deducted from negative 10. Then we got an answer which is negative. And what is that? Negative 8. Very good. Now it's your turn. Negative 8 plus negative 11 plus 19. What is the answer? Again, negative 8 plus negative 11 plus 19. What would be the answer? Right. The answer is 0. Why? Since if we combine negative 8 and negative 11, we got negative 19. And then we add negative 19 plus positive 19. Since they are equal, the answer would be 0. That is why addition of integers is just a game. A pair game in mathematics. Next, we have negative 7 plus negative 14 plus 14. As you have noticed, we have both negative and positive 14. Meaning, we have negative 14 as well as positive 14. Therefore, this would be cancelled, or that would be equal to 0. That is why what is left is negative 7 as the final answer. Now, let us test if the given example applies associative property. If we interchange the position, is the answer still the same? Positive is in the first term, next in the middle term, and now in the last term. Does the answer change? It does not. Why? Because it applies associative property of addition. And what have you learned from Mobile Legends?
The rules in adding integers with positive and negative sign. To add integers with different signs, keep the sign of the number with the largest absolute value and subtract the smallest absolute value from the largest.
How about to add more than 2 terms? It is combine all positive and combine all negatives and add using the first rule. For 2 terms, we have the commutative property in addition. What is that property? Changing the order of numbers we are adding does not change the sum. How about for more than 2 terms? Associative property of addition. The sum of 3 or more numbers remain the same regardless of how the numbers are grouped. Again, the sum of 3 or more numbers remain the same regardless of how the numbers are grouped. That's all for today. I am Sir Seri, leaving you a message. It is fun to play Mobile Legends while learning mathematics. Thank you and good day. Bye-bye.
Come and battle, come and battle. Let's hit the next level. Come and battle, come and battle. I'm the real game like rebel from Earth to space. We party, place to